Hey everybody, welcome. There have been a lot of questions lately about the mastery system on Magic the Gathering Arena. What it is, should I buy it, how does it work, all that stuff. So I'm going to give you a little overview here and try to help you figure out whether the mastery pass is for you. So let's switch views. I'm going to go hide up here, I think. This is probably the best place for me to hang out while we talk about this. We're going to go to the Mastery tab, take a first look, get a little audio as well here. Sorry about that. All right, so there are two tracks. There's the one track that everybody gets, and effectively this is a replacement for the 3 weekly boosters that you had previously been earning simply by playing and winning. You know, if you won 5 times, you'd get a booster, 10 times you get another booster, 15 times you'd get another booster, and that would reset every week. So there was somewhat of an expectation that if you're not going to be taking anything away from us, you better still have that around. Well, they do, no problem. So you basically, if you go through here, you see basically you can get about a level a day. And so after 7 days, oops, you're going to get 3 packs just like before. So first thing to note is that those 3 packs you get each week have not gone away. They have just gone into this free mastery track, okay? But the real question is, what about this paid mastery track? This is the one where in order to get in on this, you have to buy it. You have to choose whether to pay 3,400 gold, or gems, excuse me. And they claim a $200+ value and fully unlocked. We'll talk about that. That's, of course, somewhat marketing speak in terms of max valuing every single possible thing in the package. And then they got this weird thing where if you just want to jump ahead levels, you can pay a little extra. You can pay 2,000 extra and jump 10 levels. So the way, so basically there's a couple things going on. These are going to happen as of right now. We're expecting these for every set. So every set you're going to have this chance to buy into a mastery track, and then it's got 100 levels to it, and you are capped at about 1,000. It's 1,000 XP per level, and you earn about 1,000 XP per day. Now that's a really nice design because what it does is it gives you some nice clean numbers. Sometimes you see game designers obfuscating the economy in really complicated numbers with difficult math and dividing weird numbers by each other to convert currency and that kind of thing. When you see that, you know that a designer is trying to hide the value proposition from you. This is the opposite. This is where they are lining it up so clean and easy that it's designed for you to try and understand this cleanly. And so here's how they're designing it. When you complete a quest, regardless of whether it's 500 or a 750 gold quest, we're talking about these things right here. When you do these, you're going to get 800 XP when you complete per day when you complete a quest. And then on top of that, your first win, I believe, is worth 100. This is where I don't have my notes. Basically, there's first win and second and third. Yeah, here we go. So it's 100 XP for your first win and 50 XP for your second and third. So if you win 3 times a day and you complete your quest, boom, you've kind of maxed out your XP for the day, and you get 1,000. So there's 100 levels at 1,000 XP per level. So that's basically 100 days. And basically that's about how long a set lasts, right? So a set is around for about 3 months, which is about 100 days. So you can see how it all lines up. That basically they're saying, hey, play every day, win 3 games every day, and you'll unlock this this thing. Now the thing is, some people have observed that that's not actually going to get you there all the way, because 100 is a little more than 3 months. And so when you do all the math and actually try to figure out whether you can get it done, there was some huge concern because people did the math and found that basically you were going to max out at about level 84, 85. Like there was no way to get to 100. And that's a huge problem, especially because they also included the ability to buy your way to the end. Like that if you wanted to spend extra gems, you can buy those extra levels and get to 100. And so the initial reaction of the community was, hey, that seems cheap. It seems like what you're doing is selling us an impossible task and then selling us the solution to completing the impossible task. And that seems like really slimeball, right? And people reacted really poorly to that. I know the people working on this game, that while of course the bottom line is revenue for Wizards of the Coast, they do want to do it in a way that makes people happy and have fun. They're not, so it was somewhat of a misread on how that clause would be read, how that clause would be taken. Because the design intent behind allowing you to buy levels at the end was not to trick you into only having buying levels as the way to get there, but to help people with their regret about, well, I went on a 3-day vacation, I wasn't allowed to play any, so I lost 3 levels for not playing those 3 days, and I would just like to be able to reclaim that value. It was trying to give people a way to reclaim value they lost, not to trick people into signing up for a system that then forced them to pay more at the end to get there. But what about those missing 15 levels? How do you justify a system in which you max out at mid-80s on levels, but you're putting forth 100? Well, Chris Ko wrote an article and posted it yesterday that's pretty important on that front. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. But for those of you watching on video who can't access that link, you're going to want to Google, quote, mastery system check-in, end quote, by Chris Ko, and that'll help you find it. And he explains that they intentionally padded the system with 15-ish levels worth of kind of dead space so that they had room as designers to make it rain on the community, so to speak. Because one of the big goals of this system is to increase rate of play towards the end of a play cycle. When I was on the Magic Online team specifically, we tracked and fought hard against the peaks and valleys of the Magic set release cycle. So a set comes out, goes way up, hooray, making tons of money, everybody's buying it, and then slowly interest wanes and you head towards that valley. And the end of that end of the cycle is a real problem for a business, right? The Magic wants to make money consistently throughout a cycle, not just these peaks and valleys. So part of this system is designed to bring players back and encourage play towards the end of a cycle. So what I'm expecting is that they're going to take those extra 15 levels of value that they have ready to give out, and they're going to make double XP and triple XP events that all spring up towards the end of a season. So they're going to try and use this system, especially if you buy into it. They really want to use this to lure you to play more at the times you wouldn't naturally be playing more at the end of the set's life cycle. So, I think the Haxi masks, are those going to cost more? No, I don't think they will. That's not the point. The point is not to, haha, we got you, and now you got to pay more to get your experience. The point is, hey, you naturally play less this month because it's the end of this set. Let's juice up these queues so that you are more interested in coming back and playing for things at the same rates you were before, just extra bonus now. Also Skeptical Hat points out, if you enter the code, and I've already done it, but I'll show you where to do it. If you go into here and type level up, although maybe I did it on the other account even. This might work. Let's see. Oh, good. I did this on the other account. So you go level up, boom, you get a booster, and you get 2 levels. I think you said 3, but I'm pretty sure it's 2. So we go back to profile now. Yeah, for now we're at 4. So we got 2 extra levels there. But now let's talk about the value proposition. Is it worth it? What are you paying? And so what you're being asked to do is win 3 times a day and complete your daily quest every day. And then if you do that, I presume that along with the other things they're going to do, you will get 100. You'll get to a level 100 and max out your value. So now what does maxing out the value look like? No, well, yeah, the booster I got was indeed for getting this reward pack here. Good call. So the booster pack was not part of that code. It was part of the success of leveling up on my free track, but I haven't bought this one yet. So the cost of this, as you see, is 3,400 gems, and what you get out of it, I got the whole list here. So your maximum is 20 booster packs, 5 of GRN, 5 RNA, 5 War, and 5 M20. You get 2,000 gems, 5,000 gold, 20 card styles, 25 set mastery orbs, which is basically more styles, 10 mythic rare ICRs. Well, let's get to that. That's interesting. 5 planeswalker cards. So you get the planeswalkers from the core set 2020 planeswalker decks, uncommon and rare elemental cat visual upgrades, and Chandra card sleeves. So that's a lot of stuff. But the first thing I note is that you're paying 3,400 gems and getting 2,000 back if you 100% it. So really the cost of it is 1,400 gems. And so then you have to ask yourself, is 1,400 gems worth it to me for 20 booster packs, 10 random mythics, and 5,000 gold? And for the limited leaning player, the booster packs and the mythics are really just going towards set completion and therefore ultimately gem grinding. And really the fundamental value proposition is it worth it to you? Is 1,400 gems worth it to you to get 20 booster packs, which in my mind means 20 random rares. It's a little better than that. You're going to get some wild cards and you're going to get some mythics there, but for easy math, you know, this effectively comes with 20 random rares and 10 random mythics, right? So progress towards your 4x completion. But fundamentally, the limited player is paying 1,400 gems for some random rares and mythics and for 5,000 gold. And I don't think that's going to be enough of an incentive for the random limited player. But if you're going to 4x, then you're going to get 20 times 10 times 20 would be 200. So you'll get 400 gems from the rares, and then ostensibly 10 mythics would be another 400 there. So you'd get like 800. You kind of like if you convert literally all the booster packs you get and all of the mythic rare ICRs you get into gems, then you're getting a 5,000 gold, which is like 750 gems in terms of draft value. So I'm going to call this 5,000 gold is like 750 gems, and then 800 gems for all those booster packs, and you get about 1550 in value. So like for the limited only player, if you 4x the sets, you're going to just barely eke out a little extra gem value. Yes, Fiddles points out, assuming you're 4x on all standard sets. That's right. I'm seeing all standard sets. This is just maximum. So I think basically if you're someone who, through your limited play, expects to 4x every set every time, then you're going to be just over the line on value here. And if you're under that, you're probably going to be just under the line. And as Raptor said, it's a lot of work for 150 gems. And so part of I really think that to do this, you need to be in it for the cosmetics. You need to love the card sleeves and the cosmetics, and just having those extra cards in your set, and like the mastery orbs. It is really a lot of work for just a little bit of extra value for the limited player. But for someone who loves basically everything that the package has to offer, it's fine. But it's kind of funny. It's like buying a puzzle room, or it's like buying a murder mystery that shows up on your doorstep every month or something. It's like you could just have a system where here's some gems, give me the stuff. But in a sense, the reason that this stuff is being discounted is because in order for you to access it, you're being asked to play every day. And I think that's really the fundamental question that you have to ask yourself before you make this purchase is, do I really want that feeling of dangling carrots in front of me? I mean, you're basically hanging your own carrots in front of you. You're buying a bunch of carrots and putting them on the path in front of you so that every day or so you get yourself a little present. And some people love that. And some people are just like, I'm too logical for that. This is just weird. I'm just buying something and then giving it back to myself in a little bit over time. If that doesn't appeal to you, there's also another great, and maybe I'm burying the lead here and should have started with this. This your purchase is retroactive. Like if you made this, let's say in 3 weeks, you finally decided to purchase this, you would not be starting at level 0. You would start at the level you're indicated. So for example, we haven't bought this yet. We do not have the M20 Mastery Pass, but look at our profile. We are, quote, level 4, but they got this lock on it because we haven't actually unlocked the value yet. But if we did, we would snap be at level 4 and we would get everything that comes with being at level 4 on this bottom chain. So if we bought this right here, we would get the sleeves and everything. We would get 1,000 gold and we get 1 booster pack because we're already here. So that's great news because that means that if you don't care about dangling carrots for yourself, if this is just a gem-based value proposition, you don't have to decide now. You can decide later. If you don't care about the cosmetics and you don't care about dangling carrots to make the game experience more exciting, then you can just wait. And on the last day of this thing's availability, do the math and say, okay, well, I'm still locked, but I am at level 98. What does level 98 get me if I buy that today? And you can take a look at it and say, okay, well now if I spend 3,400 right now, I will literally get 3,700 back as well as these other things. Fine, I'll do it. You know, so you can just wait and then it becomes straight up mathematics. And so Vaporkin asked about the orange orbs. The mastery orbs go towards, let's see, the mastery tree. And so like we have, I don't know how many orbs. Usually it says how many orbs we have. I don't know, maybe we don't have any. Oh, that's right. We're not in this system. I didn't buy it yet. Why is that? I don't know why it won't make this go away though. It's weird that that is hovering. In any case, the orbs, you drop them here and they get you card styles and I guess this is all just card styles. I thought there might be sleeves here or something. But yeah, basically the orbs just let you branch out and decide what card styles to unlock. So I think the big issue is the daily play ask. If you were already someone who was playing every day and winning 3 times a day, you can safely buy into this and you'll get your value back over time. But I would say to anyone who does not care about cosmetics and does not care about getting little prizes doled out for them every single day, just wait. You can just wait till the end of the season and decide later on if it's worth it for you. I think that's what we're going to do with the free-to-play account. I'm not going to... we have 7,500 gems. We could absolutely buy this right now. But given that the free-to-play account is very economic-minded, doesn't really care about cosmetics or dangling carrots, we're just going to sit tight, wait till the end of the format, and decide at that point if it's a straight upgrade in value proposition in terms of how much drafting we're getting for our gems. Because fundamentally, that's what we're doing on this account. How do we turn these resources into as much limited as possible? And if at the end of this season we decide one of the answers is paying this 3,400, we'll do it, but there's no need for us as free-to-play limited players to do that right now. All right, that's my little overview of this. And if you have any questions now, let's go to profile. I'm going to hop back to the soapbox view and we'll take some AMA on that from chat now. Fiddle says, trading 1,400 gems for 10,000 gold seems fair, but the write-up I saw said that it's only 5,000 gold. So that's a pretty big difference. But again, I don't know, folks, whether the source I got that said 5,000 is right or Fiddle's here saying 10,000 is right. But the good news is, as a limited player, I don't even need to care now. I can just wait and do the math later and only buy this thing when it's actually a plus EV value proposition. Okay, so the Raptor confirms that it's 10,000. So that does mean that's a little extra value. So that's probably, like we were talking about, a lot of work for 200 gems or something. But 5,000 gold from a limited standpoint is like 750 gems. So really, if you're gonna win 3 times a day and play every day anyway, this is probably gonna be a plus 1,000-ish gem proposition for you by the end. But again, you don't need to jump. You don't need to make that bet now. You can wait and make that purchase when it literally is plus EV to do so. Kasapa says, I think the ICRs, that's individual card rewards, of the Mastery can't drop from boosters. What do you mean by that? I think what you're saying is the individual card rewards don't follow the duplicate protection rules, so that if the individual card reward wanted to randomly give me a 5th copy of a rare I have, even though I have plenty of rares in the set that I don't have 4 of yet, it's still going to give me the gems, because it's not using duplicate protection, it's just pulling a random one and then gemming where appropriate. I think that's what you're talking about, Kasapa, and I think that's how that works. Hat observes that the ICRs are locked to non-rotating sets now. That's good to know. So I've talked about that, how in general you want to not be, as a free-to-play player, generating resources from sets that are going to rotate in the fall. So it sounds like they see that as well. Yes, there are 5 ICRs that are the Planeswalker deck Planeswalkers, but there should be 10 more on top of that based on my source. Rob says, I do not play every day. Some weeks I play most days, some weeks I do not play at all. Do you need to play literally every day to make the pass worth it? You need to play almost literally every day to 100% the pass. Based on my expectation. This is a very, very fuzzy, because part of the expectation that you're going to be able to 100% this is taking Wizards at their word that that's their intent, and I believe it is. If you look at the Chris Ko article, he talks about how it may seem like 100% is unattainable, but their whole goal is to get regular players to 100%. So if you're playing every day and winning 3 times a day, and somehow the system does not produce 100% for you, they're going to change it so that it does. So really, you can imagine almost like playing every day. You'll be playing for about 100 days, and playing all those days will be 100%ing it. You can almost say every day I miss during a season is 1% off from my percent completion of the track. So, Rob, if you look back at your play history and you feel like there's 15 days during the 3 months of a set where you just don't play at all and you make no progress, well, then you're giving up 15 levels and you're kind of going to max out at 84, 85, in that range. And so you can go and look and see if that level of value is worth it for you. But if you are not sure, if you are not a daily player, if you're not already just a daily player who's already grinding your 4 wins or whatever, then I would just say wait, just wait. You can find out later, you can find out at the end of the season whether the value is there for you or not. The only reason to do it now is if you just really want those cosmetics, you just want to pet that kitty, and you really want those card styles, and you really love a little present showing up in your doorstep every couple of days. I mean, you paid for those presents, so it's not like it's manna from heaven. It's just the Amazon delivery you set up arriving, right? So, but some people really like that. So those are the 2 factors. If you love ding, 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 every couple of days, a little extra ding, a little extra bling, then go for it. But if not, you have no reason to buy in now. You can just wait and decide at the end of the cycle whether it's worth it for you. Reset Press says there's really no real difference between 3 games a day and 21 per week other than the difficulty of playing every day. And that's very real. I don't know. We'll see if they keep this up. I believe it was Valhalla's Chosen who observed that other games who do this kind of thing tend to let you don't cap your daily XP. That if you wanted to grind out your 100 levels by not sleeping for a week and just playing nonstop, that you could do that. Wizards is saying, nope, we want you here every day. That's going to cause some people just to not buy into this, and maybe that will make them change it. We'll see. But part of their goal is to get people playing every day. You know, for those of you playing free to play, you are the content. You know, the reason you're getting to do this for free is because you are content for payers. And if you're going to be a free-to-play player as content for payers, they want you here every day. So these systems are designed for engagement, designed to bring people back, designed to not let you leave the system for more than a day or two without feeling like you need to come back. And that's a weird thing to buy into if you're not already doing that. Do the rewards get more valuable as you go up in levels? I don't believe that they do. In fact, you know, the later levels on the free track don't really have anything because they don't want to make you feel badly for not getting up there. But yeah, the rewards are pretty consistent, but the leveling up, the XP availability is going to be backloaded. They're going to really pump up the XP boosts later in the set to draw people back to play when it's normally a downtime. F9er asks, Ryan, what's your professional opinion on how complex the economy and rewards system has gotten? I get they want to appeal to a variety of player motivations, but it has to be a feel-bad for new people. I don't know if it's a feel-bad for new people. New players, I assume they've done extensive testing on this system. I know that I did a lot of user testing with third-party user testing places when I was working on this game. So I know they care a lot and are looking to put these in front of new players. So I kind of feel like there's a way in which the way that these games are, the way in which this game is operating and trying to capitalize on the knowledge and awareness that people have of free-to-play systems when they bring it in, is that people kind of just trust the bundles and these things, and it's appropriate to do so. Like, I knew, without doing the math on this whole thing, I said, my expectation was, I'm sure that if you add up everything you get and price it out a la carte, it's going to look great. If you assume 100% and price it all out, it's going to look great compared to the gem cost, right? It's just, but the way I compared it is like, think about, this is like rebates that you have to mail in, or gift cards, or insurance on that new DVD player you got or whatever. Nobody buys DVD players anymore, but you know what I'm saying. Like if when you go to Amazon and they say, do you want to buy that insurance and gift cards and rebates have the value that they do because the people who create those systems are counting on everyone in the system not following through on all of its value. If when it came to insurance and rebates and gift cards, everybody always redeemed them for 100% of their value, those industries would collapse. Those industries are built on people failing to collect all of their value out of a system. But you also know that they're never going to just... the a la carte is always going to add up to look appealing, because a mistake that a game like Arena or a game like anything is never going to make is creating some value bundle, creating some Mastery Pass value bundle that when you break it down and add up the parts is actually more expensive than buying those parts individually. That'd be like going to McDonald's and seeing that their value meal number 3, that if you actually just bought those component parts individually, it would be cheaper. That would be nuts. Like you'd be not outraged, but you'd be like, what's up? Why is this place trying to rip me off, right? And no economy team is dumb enough to put forth a package that if you broke it apart and added it up would cost less if you bought the parts individually. The whole part of these bundles is to create value. So fundamentally, I knew going in the value would look fine, and that it was fundamentally a question of how you unlock all the value and whether you're going to be in a position to do that. And so as far as that relates to new players, like, I think it's fine. Like anybody coming in from some other digital game where they're being nickeled and dimed on in-app purchases or whatever is going to see, okay, this is one of those things. I see, here's a $15 bundle. I see here. And they're going to know that these are all effectively good value, and they are. These one-time bundles are just generally good value. So I don't think it's too confusing for new players to see that, oh, there's a value system. This is a little complicated. But maybe they're also on some level counting on word of mouth from people like me, from the early adopters in a gaming group or whatever to do this work and tell people, oh yeah, it's a good value, go ahead and buy it or whatever. I think the complexity of this is probably worth it for the daily carrot that players are going to get out of this. Is a very powerful thing. It's a weird thing, again, to buy yourself a bundle of carrots and then dangle them on the path in front of you for the next 3 months or whatever. But it's a feel good for players to get that daily reward. So they may think that this complexity is worth it for a system in which these tangible, well, it's all digital, so it's not really tangible, you know what I mean, but these actual account-filling rewards show up every day. Catching up on chat here. Sorry for the dead air. Marsh thinks it's unethical to try and manipulate people's behavior to that degree. I don't think it's unethical. It's just a thing you can buy if you want, you know. That's the other thing about all this is, like, there are people, it's funny, nothing is being taken from anyone, yet there's huge negative reactions because people want to like a thing and then don't, you know. But, like, I mean, you can also just ignore it and there's no problems there. Reset Press observes that, put it into perspective, Arena has been so much cheaper than Magic Online and Paper Magic. I inserted the Paper Magic. I think it's cheaper than both. That Reset Press gets plenty of play value. Yeah, absolutely. This is a very economical way to play Magic.